Good evening, members and guests. I'd like to introduce director Yeung, actress Patra and family lawyer Alfred onto the stage. So I'm Yeung Chen. I'm a member of the Film Critics Circle of Australia. I'm a regular movie host at the FCC and also other private clubs in Hong Kong. I'm going to quote from my own words, my own review here. Yeung's All Shall Be Well is a potent exploration of love, loss, and its complexity of family dynamics in the face of tragedy, anchored by a stellar performance by Patra. This Hong Kong drama transcends cultural boundaries to deliver a universal tale that tugs at the heartstrings and it unites the contemplation of LGBT rights and cross-generational and social issues. I rated the movie 8 out of 10. Congratulations to all. Let me introduce director Yeung. Ray has written and directed 4 feature movies, and actually the third feature actually have the DVD here. I'll show the copy. So this movie had its world premiere at the Busan International Film Festival and the European premiere at the Berlin International Film Festival. And All Shall Be Well is actually released on DVD in the US right now. This movie was also nominated at the Hong Kong Film Awards along with Suk Suk as well. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and also Best Director. Please welcome Ray to the FCC. Next we have the wonderful actress Patra. She's a retired secondary school teacher actually. And actually won Best Supporting Actress at the Hong Kong Film Awards for the screen debut. Was also at the movie I just mentioned at Suk Suk as well. She won the Best Supporting Actress, and then she was also nominated for the narrow role, for Best Supporting Actress. And her wonderful performance at the All Shall Be Well, she was nominated for the Best Actress at the Hong Kong Film Awards and also at the Golden Horse Film Awards. So please welcome Patra to the FCC. Thank you. So last but not least, we have also the family lawyer here tonight, Alfred. Alfred is a qualified solicitor in Hong Kong since 2000. He specializes in long-term estate planning, proper drafting of will, constructing a trust to manage family and personal wealth. He's an expert in legal issues involving LGBT community as well and marriage equality. Please welcome Alfred to the FCC.
Thank you very much. I hope that I'm that young, but I was qualified in 2000. So it's 25 years of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to, as usual, I'm going to kick off a few questions before I open the floor to a lot of people. As usual, I prepare a number of postcards. So do ask questions. I'm sure everyone already have it on their table. We can get a signed copy by the director and actress later today. So I'm going to kick off some questions. Maybe I'll kick off with Ray first. So what really sparked the initial idea for All Shall Be Well, and also like how much was it fictionalized, and how did you shape that story as well?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for showing this film. I've been here for dinners, but actually never been to a movie, so this is quite an experience. So thank you very much, and thank you for coming. The inspiration came from 2020 when I actually first met Alfred. Funny enough, I went to a talk about the Hong Kong LGBTQ inheritance rights, or the lack of it. And during the talk, there were some speakers, and Alfred was one of them, and they were quoting different cases, very similar to the situation of All Shall Be Well, where same-sex couple who have all these issues when one of them passed away. So afterwards, I asked Alfred, do you mind, introducing me to some of those people who were involved in the cases? And he did, and they were luckily wanted to talk to me, so I interviewed them and then did a lot more research and met more people and spoke to more people, and then eventually I came up with the idea of writing a screenplay based on their situations.
Maybe something to add? Anything to add on that, Alfred?
To answer your question, how much has been fictionalized? I think the answer is it came down a lot. The reality is that the drama is much more colorful than what is depicted. I watched this movie again, it reminds me how thoughtful Ray had put together this story. In reality, the emotion is actually very raw. For example, when they were looking at the house that you, literally, were, Auntie Angie was living in, and how she didn't want to go to forgo, and how the other family members needed it desperately to improve their own living environment. The reality is that there was no conversation among the family members. Almost immediately after the deceased passed away, the widow came back home and found the dog being stuck with a toothpick. Like this, no confrontation. One day she just couldn't get back into the house with all her belongings in vain. And before that, of course, there was the confrontation of where's the wallet, where's the key to the safe, where's the, and among others, down to the very, very small personal collection items. The reason that I want to bring it up is that in reality, if things are not done properly, there will be consequences, because when there is the reality of money, living environment, people can become quite ugly, no matter how much they treated you like a family in the past. Remember the end, the conclusion of the film? Family. What is family? What it means. And when it comes with money, how does it come, how does it turn into? This is something that is worthwhile for everyone as a food for thought after watching that movie. And if I may be a little bit long-winded, after the recent case law, you realize how little the law is prepared to safeguard the right of same-sex couples. And I hope that this causes a reminder.
On that note, actually, to Ray here, because you could actually portray these characters much more villains, because you actually make them more human than villains. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, like Alfred was saying, that a lot of the cases that I interviewed, and well, the stories were very shocking, and those family members were very cruel. And then at that time, I already felt that if I write a script like that and a short movie like that, in some ways it's almost too dramatic, and it's almost like a television soap opera, and everybody's screaming and shouting, and people doing all these horrible things, and then the audience will immediately go, okay, that's the villain and that is the hero, and therefore they would not identify with the villain, of course, and then they might see it almost like Star Wars or a fairy tale where there is like the goodies and the baddies. So I don't want it to happen like that. I want it to be make the family members much more relatable. So in the sense that the audience will empathize with them, identify with them, and therefore put themselves in their situations and then start asking themselves, if I'm in that situation, I will never be able to own this apartment, but suddenly I'm able to get hold of it. There's a chance of me getting this apartment. What would I do? Well, I give it to this woman who I know that has been living there all this time and is my aunt's partner, but now the law is on my side. What should I choose? So I want the audience to feel that kind of feelings, to put themselves in this family member's shoes.
And on that note, actually, Angie, the movie you called Angie, Patra, and it was a beautiful performance in this movie, because it's actually very difficult, because the fact that it's so sad, because nothing was going your way. Everything was against you. Just yes, death and then all these everything just happened. That journey of program, grief being central. So how do you portray her emotional turmoil and also your resilience? And given the uncertain future, that's what's going to happen, how do you portray this character?
Well, when I was given the script, I usually read it like 3-4 times so that I'm familiarized with the story first. And then, you know, because you know the story, and then you get to know the character. Not the character I'm playing, not just the character I'm playing, but also all the other characters, because it's important. Most of the things that I did with Ray was about relationship. And if you don't read the script and you don't know about all the other members, you don't really have a relationship. You'll be just playing a very stereotype kind of Angie, which I'm sure is not something that Ray wants. So I read it a couple of times, and then, before we start shooting, Ray would go over the emotional journey with me for Angie. And my understanding of what Angie is and her whole emotional journey, because with film, you don't have the luxury of doing it like first day and the last day would be the last day of that, or the last shot of that movie. So if you don't know, all the nuances throughout her entire journey, it would be very difficult for you to, have all these nuances. Because the kind of acting, like Ray says, he doesn't want a very, melodramatic kind of thing, and it's all about nuance then. As far as the turmoil is concerned, of course, first of all, I lost the love of my life overnight. I'm not prepared totally. And number two, I'm at a loss because Pat takes care of me all her life. I am mostly a housewife, okay? And then I did not expect, well, I wouldn't call it betrayal, because if Victor's girlfriend is not pregnant, probably they will let me there for, I'm not sure. The necessity hasn't come up for them. But now they have a dire straight situation and they need the house. So they want me out. And of course I'm devastated, but when you look at it from at the end, it's a situation that they are in and they need that. But the thing is, they did not talk to me like a family. It's like almost like eviction. So that would be the betrayal that I'm facing. And but then, like you said, the resilience comes from the help from my friends in the same circle. And then, of course, I saw the will. And that will give me the strength, not just to go on, but to fight it in court. I know I'm going to lose, but I want to let the world know that we are together, we are a couple. And, in the Chinese version, we don't see that, but in the English subtitle, it says dependent allowance. And that means I am a dependent for Pat. So that for me is like that the world has recognized my existence as Pat's other half. And
I hate to add that if in a movie you came to me, the result could be very different.
Wrong lawyer.
Wrong.
The reality is that the dependent may be entitled to an allowance. But in your situation, when there's a draft will, and your friend showing you the draft will, there is a possibility that the case could be litigated in a different manner.
You're not supposed to show it to me.
Oh,
Right?
there are ways. Trust me.
Okay.
That's why.
All right, but like you said, the resilience would be at the end of the day. I know the most important thing for me is not the house, it's the memory, and it's also the reassurance that she loved me. It's just by some unfortunate fault that she did not go to the lawyer's office and sign. Otherwise, things would be very different. So I always told my audience, please go, and if you have someone that you love and you need to protect, please make a will. Don't think that there will be a tomorrow, because nobody knows. Nobody knows if there is a tomorrow at all.
On that note, then Alfred's going to give out his name card.
Yeah, but I guess at the end, the recognition as the couple is the most important part. And if I may jump the gun a little bit and say, would the situation be different now when same-sex marriage seems to be recognized somewhat somehow in Hong Kong? The answer to this movie in particular is no. If I understand correctly, or maybe I'm wrong, but the two main characters never married.
No, we never married.
Yeah, and in Hong Kong, that is the particular significance. When you're not married, you're not married. And there's no recognition. Same-sex, opposite sex, whatever. A marriage demands a proper ceremony, proper registration, and proper recognition in other jurisdictions at least. But then going back to the Hong Kong situation, the dilemma is that most of the old couples, like the character they have in the movie, they don't understand the significance of a marriage. After all, recognition has already been in each other's hearts. The relationship is real to them. It's just that outside the world of two of them, suddenly it becomes challenged. Is it real? Is the recognition of each other real in the eyes of other people? In law, it may not be, especially if there's no signed marriage certificate to evidence it. How ironic it is. You thought that relationship is much more real than just a signed marriage certificate. But this is the reality.
But if she had signed the will, then I will not be left out of the,
Absolutely, absolutely. She should have done it, and she did not. For whatever reason, either procrastination, not putting in priority, but the most important part is that in the movie, you found out that your relationship with her was real. And that is something to evidence it. And in reality, that can potentially be recognized as well through legal proceedings.
Well said, Alfred.